In this story, as Anakin Skywalker with his clone troopers marched towards the Jedi Temple, he felt a sudden, inexplicable disturbance in the Force, a presence of pure light and compassion. As he entered the temple, he was met by a figure unlike any he had ever encountered, a man with a serene presence, radiating unconditional love and wisdom. It was Jesus Christ. Anakin, confused and conflicted, asked, "Why are you here? This is not your battle." With a gentle smile, Jesus replied, "I am here to remind you that there is always a path of redemption. Darkness can be overcome with the light of compassion and forgiveness." Anakin, torn by his inner turmoil, felt a moment of clarity. In this brief encounter, he realized that his choices were not yet final. The path of the Jedi was still within reach if he chose to follow it. As Jesus faded away, Anakin felt a renewed sense of hope, realizing that even in the darkest moments there is always a chance for light to shine through. The sun rose over Coruscant, bathing the scarred Jedi Temple in golden light. Repairs had already begun, not only to the structure but to the wounds that had split the galaxy. Jedi and clone troopers alike had stopped fighting, thanks to a single order from the man once prophesied to bring balance. Inside the grand chamber of the Jedi Council, a solemn assembly awaited the return of Anakin Skywalker. He entered not in pride but in reverence. His lightsaber was clipped to his belt untouched. But in his other hand he carried a simple wooden cross, carved during his days of seclusion after his encounter. His eyes, once driven by turmoil, now shone with humility. Mace Windu, still skeptical but alive due to Anakin's change of heart, was the first to speak. Mace Windu, Skywalker, you halted Order 66 and helped defeat the Chancellor, but we must know what changed you. Anakin took a deep breath. He bowed his head. Anakin Skywalker. I was on the edge of darkness. Palpatine had offered me power, told me I could save Padme from death. I believed him, until I heard a voice in the Force unlike any I'd known before. He stepped forward, holding up the cross. Anakin. It wasn't the Force. It was something higher. It was him, Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. He spoke to my soul, not just my mind. He showed me what true life is, not one built on fear but love. Not through control but through mercy. Yoda, his eyes deep with thought, tilted his head. Yoda, a vision you saw? Anakin, no, a person. Alive, glorious, beyond the Force. He showed me my sins, the lives I would have taken, the blood I would have spilled. But he didn't cast me into shame. He offered forgiveness. He said, "Come to me and I will give you rest." And I did. The room was silent. Even the Force seemed to hold its breath. Obi-Wan, standing at the edge of the circle, watched his former apprentice with awe. Obi-Wan Kenobi, and so you turned back? Anakin. I did more than turn back. I surrendered. I gave up the lie that I could fix the galaxy alone. Jesus showed me that salvation doesn't come from force, it comes from faith. In him, Ki-Adi-Mundi, still grasping old Jedi doctrine, folded his hands. Ki-Adi-Mundi. But what of the code? The Jedi are sworn to the Force. How can you serve another? Anakin looked to him calmly. Anakin, the Jedi have sought balance through the Force for millennia, but we never asked balance with what? The dark and light side fight endlessly. Jesus brought a peace the Force never could. The Force connects life, but Jesus created life. He looked around, voice steady. Anakin, he is the way, the truth, and the life. I still respect the Force, but I no longer worship it. Ahsoka Tano, who had been standing behind the chairs, finally stepped forward. She had felt this same presence in her own exile. Tears welled in her eyes. Ahsoka, I believe him. Mace Windu, even so, this changes everything. What would you have us do, Anakin? Anakin looked up, his voice filled with certainty. Anakin, let go of fear. Let go of our pride. Let go of our obsession with the code. Open your hearts, not just to the Force, but to the Creator of all things. Let him lead us. We have failed because we tried to be our own saviors. But Jesus, he is the Savior. Yoda, after a long silence, closed his eyes. Yoda, long have we waited. Perhaps from the Maker this was. Epilogue. In the years that followed, Anakin helped rebuild the Jedi Order, not as an elite group of warriors bound to doctrine, but as humble guardians of peace, love, and truth. The Jedi Code was rewritten to embrace faith in Jesus Christ. The clones, freed from their programming, were offered grace. Padme lived. And Luke and Leia were born into a galaxy not at war but in healing. For the first time in galactic history, there was peace not from power but from the Prince of Peace.